Reclaiming your independence, breaking free from family obligations after 60. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. C.S. Lewis. Have you ever felt that the life you have worked so hard to build is no longer truly your own? As we journey into our golden years, many of us find ourselves gradually surrendering our independence, becoming caretakers rather than living our own dreams. Our days become filled with others' needs, leaving little room for our own joy and fulfillment. Welcome to Golden Years Wisdom Channel, where we believe your later years should be your best years. If you find value in today's message about reclaiming the independence you deserve, please subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Together, we can create a community of seniors who inspire each other to live with dignity, purpose, and joy, regardless of age. Chapter 1. The Gift of Boundaries, Setting Limits with Love. When Margaret turned 70, she found herself babysitting her grandchildren nearly every day, canceling her painting classes and neglecting the retirement she had envisioned. Her breaking point came when she missed her art exhibition, opening something she'd worked toward for months. That evening, with trembling hands but resolute heart, she called her daughter and established a new schedule that honored both her family commitments and personal passions. The truth is that boundaries aren't walls to keep loved ones out, they're bridges to healthier relationships. By clearly communicating what you can and cannot do, you teach others to respect your time while still maintaining deep connections. When you honor your own needs, you show up as your best self for those you love, creating relationships built on mutual respect rather than obligation or resentment. Chapter 2. Financial Freedom in Later Years, Protecting Your Security. Evelyn, at 82, had always been the family bank, helping with grandchildren's tuition, bailing out her son's business ventures, and covering emergencies for extended family. When her retirement fund dwindled dangerously low, her financial advisor helped her see that her generosity was jeopardizing her ability to care for herself in the coming years. The greatest gift you can give your children, he told her, is never becoming a financial burden to them. Making financial decisions with your head, rather than just your heart, isn't selfish, it's necessary. Your retirement savings represent decades of hard work and careful planning, designed to provide security in your vulnerable years. Remember that helping your family shouldn't come at the cost of your basic needs or force you into dependency later on. Sometimes the most loving answer to financial requests is a gentle but firm no. Chapter 3. Rekindling Personal Passions, Rediscovering Your Identity. Thomas, a retired professor at 76, realized one day that he couldn't remember the last time he'd played his beloved violin. Between helping his children with home projects and watching grandchildren, his own passion had gathered dust in the corner. With encouragement from an old colleague, he joined a community orchestra, and the music that had once filled his soul returned, bringing with it new friendships and purpose. Your identity extends far beyond being someone's parent or grandparent. It encompasses all the dreams, talents, and interests that make you uniquely you. When you reclaim time for pursuits that light you up inside, whether art, music, travel, or learning, you fill your own emotional well, so you have more to give. Ask yourself today, what passion have I set aside that deserves to be rekindled? Chapter 4. Teaching Independence Through Distance. Loving without enabling. Martha had always prided herself on being available whenever her adult children needed her, driving hours at a moment's notice, dropping everything for their emergencies. At 78, exhausted and feeling taken for granted, she realized her constant rescuing had prevented them from developing resilience. When she stopped answering every desperate call, something remarkable happened. Her children began solving their own problems, gaining confidence with each obstacle they overcame. There's profound wisdom in knowing when to step back and allow others to navigate their own challenges. Your children ease growth does end when they leave your home. It continues throughout adulthood as they face life's difficulties and learn to overcome them. By resisting the urge to immediately solve their problems, you honor their capacity to become fully capable adults while preserving your own energy and peace of mind. Chapter 5. Emotional Independence, Finding Joy Beyond Family Roles. Sophia, at 85, measured her worth by how often her children called or visited, feeling devastated when holidays passed with only brief phone conversations. Her breakthrough came through a grief support group she joined after losing her husband, where she formed deep friendships with peers who understood her experiences. These connections helped her realize her value wasn't determined by her children's attention, but by the rich inner life she was capable of creating. Your happiness cannot depend solely on how others treat you, not even your beloved family. When you develop diverse sources of emotional fulfillment, friendships with peers, community involvement, spiritual practices, creative outlets, you free yourself from disappointment and free your family from impossible expectations. The most beautiful gift you can offer your children is the example of a parent who has created a joyful, complete life of their own. Chapter 6. The Courage to Say No, Protecting Your Peace. William, a 79-year-old widower, found himself increasingly exhausted by family obligations, from last-minute babysitting requests to lending his truck for moves to hosting holiday gatherings, even when his health made it difficult. His turning point came after a hospitalization brought on by stress, when his doctor said simply, "Your yes means nothing if you don't know how to say no." Those words gave him permission to prioritize his well-being for the first time in decades. Saying no doesn't diminish your love, it acknowledges your humanity and your limits. Each time you decline a request that would drain your energy or compromise your health, you're making a radical declaration. Your needs matter. Begin practicing with small boundaries, perhaps declining a mid-week commitment or requesting advance notice for visits, and watch how respect for your time naturally follows. Chapter 7. Creating Your Support Network, Building Connections Beyond Family. Victoria never expected to find such joy in her weekly watercolor class at 92, yet the friendships formed over paintbrushes and tea had become the highlight of her week. These were people who saw her as Victoria the artist, not just someone's mother or grandmother. When health challenges arose, it was this circle of friends who brought meals, called daily, and reminded her she was never truly alone in the world. Age peers understand your journey in ways even the most loving children cannot. They remember the same world you do, face similar physical changes, and share your perspective on life. Investing in these relationships provides emotional sustenance, practical support, and the profound gift of being fully seen and understood. Whether through senior centers, faith communities, hobby groups, or volunteer work, make cultivating these connections a priority in your golden years. Chapter 8. Embracing Your Legacy, Living with Purpose and Impact. At 88, James reflected on his most meaningful contribution, not his successful career, but the weekly letters he wrote to incarcerated youth, sharing wisdom from his own troubled early years. "You don't need to be famous to leave a legacy," he often said. "You just need to genuinely touch one life at a time." These letters gave purpose to his days and meaning to his experiences, transforming even his past mistakes into valuable lessons for others. Your life experience is an irreplaceable treasure, offering insights that can only come from decades of living. Consider how you might share this wisdom through mentoring, writing, creating family histories, teaching skills to younger generations, or advocating for causes close to your heart. When you focus on what you can give rather than what you've lost, your later years become not a time of diminishment, but of profound significance and continuing growth. Conclusion. Dear friend, the chapters of your life are far from complete. The wisdom you've gained, the strength you've developed, and the love you have cultivated are powerful forces that continue to shape not only your journey, but the lives you touch. Your golden years aren't about fading away, they are about shining even more brilliantly with the light of experience and purpose. We at Golden Years Wisdom Channel invite you to share in the comments below which of these principles resonates most deeply with you. What step will you take today to reclaim your independence and joy? Your story might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. Remember, we rise together when we inspire each other. Until next time, embrace each day as the precious gift it is. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln, the afternoon knows what the morning never suspected. Swedish proverb.